Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today as we go over the brand new website, StarWarsUnlimited.com. So you might have seen it before in the past with just the news section live, but we've actually have our full beta now, and we just want to walk you all through what this looks like and some of the features that are on it. So I'm joined today by the wonderful Josh Massey.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, no problem. I try to keep him away, but he just keeps showing up and asking to be on stream. So.
I can always find my way back in.
There's no lock on the door. He just keeps wandering in. But yeah, so today we're going to be going through some of this beta website. Like we said, it is a beta, so we really are looking for a lot of feedback from you all about things that you want to see, any bugs that you might see as well, different things that you would just need as a player or as a fan of the game. Please let us know. There's multiple ways to do that. I just want to let you all know at the beginning that there is a support tab at the very bottom of the page on the website. So if you go there, you can click and it has all the ways that you can get in contact with us with anything that you might see on there. We can also mention that again at the end, but we're going to start going through what's new. And yesterday was my first time seeing the full website. So this is going to be like a real tutorial live for you all because I kind of clicked through it as much as I could, but haven't seen everything, so Josh is going to show me the ropes here.
Yeah. So yours and a lot of people on Discord as well.
Yes.
We were seeing feedback on it all day long, so thanks for that. All right, but yeah, we're just going to get started right on the homepage.
Great.
So for anybody that just goes to StarWarsUnlimited.com now, instead of seeing that landing page with the release date and just articles on it, we now have an actual homepage. So we're not going to dive too deep into every aspect of it because a lot of it is pretty straightforward, but I am going to scroll through some of the really important content here. So obviously on our landing page, we want people who haven't played the game yet to learn how to play. So that's one of the first options.
Makes sense.
And then to find a store where they can either pick up the product or maybe start participating in those weekly play events. So moving on from there, talks a little bit about the cards themselves and shows our card database, which I am absolutely in love with. We're going to talk in more detail about that in a bit, but gives you that database and the ability to build a deck right here.
Ooh.
So very exciting to be able to just quickly get to those options. And then we have some other stuff. We're going to talk about the player portal in a little bit. Something else I'm very excited for. We'll talk about events and the rules for the game in just a minute here as well. And then we do have our news on the homepage because we still want to make sure that people who are looking for the newest, most relevant content to what they need now is still on this homepage.
Yeah. We've had some great articles so far, and they're not going to stop coming. We're going to keep putting out deck lists, different things that you all anything that you might be interested in, we're going to still be talking about in that news section. So it's still there right on the front page for you to find.
Absolutely. And then this section, I promise you over time, it will get bigger, but as you are all here before the launch of the game, it's to be expected that there's only one set of products available because we're not even at set 1 yet. But over time, obviously, this will fill in with all of our future sets and content and be much more exciting.
Ooh.
So, all right. So from here, we have already seen the newest articles on here on the homepage. But let's look at the news page. This is going to be something people are very familiar with already, who have already been on this site a bunch. But for anybody who's just catching the stream and just getting interested in Star Wars Unlimited, this is going to be an important page for you to get some information. So these are all of our articles. Nothing crazy, nothing new that you haven't seen already, again, for those existing players. But we do have all of our articles listed still on the website under this news tab at the top. Moving on from there, because this is where some of the new stuff kicks in, where we're going to spend a little bit more time, is this game section. So under this section of the website, you're going to have a lot of information about the game itself, how to play it, what the game is really all about, and all that fun stuff. So let's just start at getting started.
Makes sense.
So going here, learn a little bit about the game, and then we talk about those 3 C's of organized play, the C3OP that we're doing for organized play on our side, and really like describing how those are important to us and why they're important to us with that connect, collect, and compete here. From there, we do have the how to play documents and pages for that. We're going to actually move down the bar on the left once we get to the bottom of this page, so I'm not going to click all these things as we're going.
Fair.
We will be talking about events and events that will be available at your local retailers. And then, again, that player portal, which we're still waiting on just a little bit. But then we get into more details about the game and what to expect from it. So we're going to talk about the cards. For people that haven't played the game before or are just diving in, this is going to be a spot for them to figure out what it means when they open their first booster pack, right? So all of that detail is in here for those newer players. We talk a lot about the aspects as well. And with these aspects, we have a lot more detailed information on previous live streams.
Yes.
So for anybody who wants to know a little bit more about these that hasn't seen those, we go into each of these aspects in detail on other live streams.
And if you're not somebody who likes to watch live streams, because, maybe you don't like watching Josh and I chat about these things as much as we like chatting about them, there's also articles on the website as well for each of the aspects that you can dive into and get a little more detailed in this and get into what it means to play those aspects.
Yep. And then we have our different ways to play. So we do talk about our Premiere, which nobody knew that was the name of it until yesterday, so that's exciting. We do have our Premiere play, which is the standard 50-card deck that is in the Learn to Play rules. We do talk about Draft and Sealed. And again, for those that like, those older live streams, we did Draft as well and love talking about it. So if you're interested in how Draft works, you can get more details there or from the Draft article.
Yep.
And then we'll talk about Sealed a bit here as well. Might be more to be added to those in a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? And then we talk about the different types of cards in the game. Obviously, leaders and bases are very important when it comes to your deck building. But within your deck, you're going to have those units, those upgrades, and those event cards. So want to make sure that we have everything on here for those newer players. Now that I know a little bit more about the game, let's learn how to play the game.
Oh, man.
Okay? And we're not, again, going to get too deep into this. This is not the Learn to Play live stream, but it gives you a general idea of how you set up the game, what the important pieces are, what your hand is, where your deck goes, all of that stuff. Talks about the action phase because for newer players to this game or to FFG games, they're used to a specific system, not the back and forth action phase. So that's a very important thing to discuss here, how all of that works, attacking and, exhausting units, readying units during the regroup phase. Oh my gosh. I saw, I'm looking at the screen and I see initiative and I'm like, no, that's not what this is at all. Through that regroup phase. Yeah. So it gives you a little bit of everything that you need to know as just a quick glance on how to play the game.
Yeah, and this is all the same information that came from the Quick Start rules, so if you're familiar with that, and nothing in here is going to be new, but there'll probably be new stuff in other parts of the site. But this is to welcome those new players, help get them into this and understanding what Star Wars Unlimited is before they start looking for events or store locators or other things.
Right. So if you're at a local game store talking this game up and you only got a couple minutes, you can send somebody here to get all the information that you couldn't give them necessarily in those 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the rules. Again, I'm clicking the button on the bottom, but these are all in this sidebar as well for people that need to navigate to things quickly. Rules and how to play. We've got our documents in here. More to be added soon with that rules reference. So different ways to play.
Different ways.
Different ways. This was another first time people saw. Well, I guess technically it was the second time.
Yeah, first-ish.
But this is a spot where, again, our eagle-eyed fans did pick up on Twin Suns.
Yes.
We are not going to go into Twin Suns and how that functions today, but everybody did already know because of previous live streams and whatnot that we did have a multiplayer format.
Yes.
But this is not the live stream for that.
But this is us confirming that Twin Suns is that multiplayer format, and you can expect to see more here on the live stream and in articles in February.
Yup.
It's coming soon. Get ready.
Okay. All right. Great. So then moving on from here, there's more detail about each of these things. Again, we're not going to click on absolutely everything today because we don't need to. So these buttons, again, follow this path. Talks about Premiere, your 50-card deck, and everything that you need to know for Premiere. Draft, everything you need to know, and then Sealed. One more time. There we go. And then Sealed, everything you need to know for that. So that is the gist of what we've got there. So let's start looking at events.
Yeah.
Because there's one person at this table whose job it is to really focus on events.
Yeah.
And he wants to talk about those.
And there's one person at this table already looking at stores to go to that are hosting pre-releases and things because I am dying to get into stores and playing.
Same. So let's talk about organized play. Hey, that seems right up my alley.
Yeah. Seems perfect for a guy like you.
So organized play, again, we talk about our connect, collect, and compete. Wow, our C3OP. I mean, complete is going to be part of it for those collectors as well. So could we have done 4? Connect, collect, complete, and then compete. Yeah, for sure.
C4OP.
No, that doesn't roll off the tongue quite the same.
No.
So within this, I will point out that we have links. They're not available yet, but they will be available soon for our tournament regulations and our master event docs. These are going to be very important for anybody who's planning on playing at any events in their local stores, and also for the stores, because this is going to give all of the details that you as a player will need to know, and all of the details that tournament organizers will need to know when it comes to supporting Star Wars Unlimited.
And one thing that we missed when we were talking about rules, though, is that a full rules reference will be available on this website before launch, correct?
That is correct. Yeah,
Yes.
we just talked about the quick start, but the full rules will absolutely be there.
Yeah, great.
All right, and then we talk about the OP structure. We're not going to dive too deep into this as we've already done it on other streams, but we talk about our casual versus our competitive series with details on each of those. And then we do link to the store and event locator. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. So moving on from there, we're going to actually look at casual play. So casual play as a separate beast talks about this regular rotation that we're going to have with every single set between that pre-release, weekly play, and store showdown. And then information will be up here soon for each of those events and what you as a player can expect and what stores can expect as well. So this is a page for everyone.
Yes, a page for everyone, and we will be, filling in some of this information relatively soon. Right?
Yes.
You'll be back here at the end of the month to talk about pre-release and store showdowns, I believe.
Yes, I will.
So
Yes, I
look
will.
forward to some of those articles and live streams coming up soon.
Yep. Moving on from there, we do have our competitive play. Very similar to the casual play in its layout, just talks more about that competitive structure. And we'll also give you more information on those competitive qualifying events that all feed into our Galactic Championship.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
It's exciting.
I'm so excited. I just love that this exists. Like, I've been looking at this and reviewing this website for, I don't know how long is forever, but being able to actually talk to you about it and have people using it, it's so good. It makes me so happy. And then, you know what? We'll talk very briefly about the event locator right now. This is going to be a very important piece of the website, but as of right now, because the website just launched, none of our stores have been added to it yet. So this is something that is going to be coming over the coming weeks as, we're working internally and with our international friends to get all of these stores added. So expect for these to start appearing within the next couple weeks, and then by game launch, ideally, everybody will have a spot close to them that they can go and play in a pre-release or just, hang out and do some weekly play with people.
Mm-hmm. And one of the cool things that you were mentioning before this about this event locator is that you can search by event type or by stores near you. So if I know I need to go to the store because it's like 2 blocks away from my house, I can see when their next event is. Or if I'm looking for a specific event type, like a pre-release, which I'm looking for right now, I can look at pre-releases and see all of the ones in a certain range of where I'm at.
Yep, so I will actually dive into that. That was a perfect segue. So the button that I clicked to get here was specifically a find an event button.
Okay.
But let's go through this as if somebody's just coming to the website for the first time and clicking through things at the top. We have our store and event locator.
Great.
So this actually brings us to the locator, which, hey, we're already on. Mm-hmm. Typically, it will bring you to the first option, which is to purchase a product. That is the store locator. So for those that have seen this and maybe been a little bit confused about how that works, the store locator is for when you want to get something new for the game. So it automatically tries to use my location. If I know I'm going out of town to visit some friends or family and I want to see what's happening in that time frame or what stores I can go to buy a pack, because I can't not buy a pack.
Absolutely.
So I can turn this off. I can go and enter whatever zip code, city, state, region I'm going to be in, search by miles or kilometers for our friends who aren't here in the US, the ones who do it right, if we're being honest. Good job, everyone else. But yeah, so I can search for that. And when I search for the stores, it will give me a list of stores within the range that I'm searching for. The cool thing about that is when I click on a store, as you were kind of alluding to here, when I click on a store, it will actually show me every event that that store has scheduled.
Every single event.
Every event that they have upcoming. So if a store has scheduled their pre-release, 5 weekly play events, and their store showdown, you're going to be able to see that from their store page. So it might actually help you decide what day you want to go to that store to pick up your stuff, because maybe they're doing weekly play. And then for the events specifically, as Xander said, you can select the event type. So I want to do pre-release events in a specific location, or just near me if I want to do that. I can select what dates I'm going to be in the location, and then I can search for those events. And within this will just show events. But when I click on one of those events, it will actually give me the details of the store that I will need to be able to contact them. So they do work hand in hand with one another, and you can kind of access one from the other, but looking for something specific, you're going to want to focus on this purchase a product or the find an event for the specific tool that you want.
Love it.
All right. Now let's talk about the player portal.
I've been so excited to talk about this.
I'm very excited about the player portal, and that feeds us perfectly into my favorite part of the website.
Ooh.
So I'm going to go to the player portal. For anybody who has created an Asmo Connect account already, you're already set up. All you got to do is sign into that account, and it'll send you right back, which it will do for me in just a moment. For anybody who hasn't, you can just create an account there, and that will get you back to having your unlimited account. So thank you for blocking that out for me. I don't want everybody here to know my personal email address.
Oh, now I know it, though.
You already have it.
I'm going to bother them.
And let's see. Okay, I typed it in properly. Okay, so now that I am logged in, it is showing me my information from my Asmo Connect account. So it has my little avatar, my username, but then it also has my unlimited ID. That ID number is going to be very, very important to you as a player of this game. This is the ID you are going to use when you're entering tournaments. So whenever you go to attend an event, it is going to ask you for this number. So this is something, maybe you should save it. Like what I have always done is save it as a contact in my phone, as just those numbers and then unlimited ID. That way I never forget it, because I can tell you right now, my memory is not the best.
Write it on the inside of your deck box or something, somewhere that, you know, your favorite deck box that you're bringing to the tournament anyway, then you never have to worry about it, it's with you.
Right, that's smart. Yeah. But when you did this, I thought you were going to tell them to write it on their hand.
Oh, no. I mean,
and that would be a terrible choice, because we want you washing that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so not on your hand. Deck box is good.
Deck box is good.
Phone is good. So yes, we are in our player portal now. I have my ID number. What else can I do in here?
Seems like a lot.
I can look at all my stuff. What stuff do I have, Xander?
Do you have cards?
I mean, we drafted some stuff on a live stream, and I might have taken the cards that I pulled from the live stream and added them to this as if they are mine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I want them all. I'm going to look over at, you know, the marketing manager over there. I do want all those cards. Thanks.
I would also like mine
Hopefully.
too, if we're asking things on stream.
Depends on how nice you are.
All right. We can be nice for a day, just one day. All right, so this will show me everything that I have in my collection. I have only built one deck, and if anybody looks at the aspect icons, you might be able to assume what leader I've put together based on my favorite Star Wars content. I mean, I'll show you in just a second.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. But it also shows me every card that I have saved on my account as a card that I own.
Ooh.
Yep. So this has my list. I personally don't love looking at lists like this because I love the art for this game. Mm-hmm. So you know what? I'm gonna change that really quickly. There we go. This is how I like to see it.
Oh, you drafted some good leaders.
Because the art is gorgeous. I did draft some good leaders. Yeah. Yes. I mean, we know which one I played on the stream, and it was so fun. But yeah, this gives me the cards that I drafted and hope to one day own in everything that I got.
Yeah.
So that's exciting for me. I love it. It also shows me a full card list. Not going to go to that now because we got the card database.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through that. But it will show me the full card list, everything that I want there. Allows me to build a deck, and then featured decks. And we're going to talk about featured decks very briefly because this is something we'll be adding soon. But this is something that we, as FFG, will have control over and be able to say, you know, put up Danny's favorite deck, Tyler's favorite deck. Maybe we have this really cool deck that wins a tournament.
Yeah.
And we want to, you know, showcase that deck and how interesting and cool and unique it was. we have the ability to do so, which is going to be really, really cool once this starts filling in with some unique decks and unique techs within specific decks.
So once we get to March, keep an eye on the featured deck list. Maybe it'll inspire you for a deck to bring to your weekly play, or maybe you are just, that's your goal, is to be on their featured deck list. Start winning some tournaments with it, and we think it's really special and have to throw it on there. So yeah, it's just a fun thing to keep the community engaged. And I know I am not the best deck builder. I'll figure it out eventually, but that's where I'm going to go to figure things out.
Yeah, I mean, deck building for me is draft.
There you
For
go.
being
Yeah,
honest,
yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
I'm going to ask somebody what the best deck is. I'm going to put my cards together and call it a day. All right, so let's talk about this card database. So we're going to go into the card database, and again, because I'm already logged in, I will have access to still look at the cards within my collection specifically, or the full list. For right now, we're going to look at the full list. So within this, we do want to remind everybody that this is a beta. Things are not in their final form, and we currently have the ability to search for an aspect, or a card type, or a cost. That is not going to be the case. We are going to be adding multi-select functionality and other options to this. And I don't know what's going on over there, but there's chuckling. I feel like I said something stupid. So I did it. Good job. But yes, we are going to be adding additional functionality to this. So look forward to that. It will be updated, and it, you know, just like everything we're doing with this game, we have room to grow and build and just become better. So looking at this, because this is on the full list and not just my cards, you will see checkboxes in some of these. That shows that I already own those cards. And for those that were paying close attention to my list, you'll recognize, oh yeah, I had Krennic in there.
Yep.
So with this database, I can remove cards from my collection because I traded Krennic away for, you know, the Grand Inquisitor.
Nice. Good
Because, yeah, he's great. I love the Inquisitor, right? So you can add and remove cards through this. I'm actually going to set it back to that card again in hopes. But see all your leaders, see all your bases, anything that you may or may not own, and then all of those units, events, and upgrades. The fun thing with this, I'm going to click on Kanan because, you know, he seems like an all right character. I think
Not just
somebody,
your favorite
I think
or
somebody
anything.
here likes him.
Yeah.
So each of these cards has the option to click on the card to get more information about it. So you can see the card, but you might want to have a little bit deeper dive and maybe see a little bit closer up what all of the content of that card is. Within here, we are also going to show you every variant that exists for the card. Currently, we're only showing you the variants that we have revealed up to this point. But I have Kanan in my collection. Those that watched the Drafts live stream saw that I had Kanan in my collection.
Yeah.
But you know what I don't have?
Hyperspace.
The Hyperspace Kanan.
Yeah.
So with that being the case, I click over to the Hyperspace here. It shows that it's not in my collection, and I have the ability to add it. I'm not going to do that right now because it'll just make me sad the next time I come to the website. And I see that I have it, but I know that I don't have it. So I'm not going to do that, but it is exciting to be able to build that collection of the variants in addition to just the base card, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that I want to point out, again, this is a beta. We're going to have multi-select options in the future. We also currently just have the ability to add the card to your collection, not the quantity of cards, but that is something else that will be coming as well.
And one of the cool things that we have not mentioned so far about the whole site, but specifically about the card database too, is that all these cards are in all 5 languages that'll be available at launch. So the entire site can be shown in any of those 5 languages, as well as these cards specifically.
I think that's the right one. I don't speak German, but yep, there we go.
We'll find out, yeah.
So I think that I accepted everything that I needed to in German. But yes, that is a great thing to call out. The entire website is localized. All of the cards are up in every language. And I will tell you, our team that is putting all of this content into the back end are rock stars.
Yes, shout out
they
to all
have
of
been
them.
working their tails off to get not just the English content out there so that I can read it, but all 5 of the languages for the game so that people around the globe are able to interact with the game in the way that they will at home.
That's awesome.
All right. So this is how the card database works.
Yeah, makes
But what do we
sense.
use it for other than just adding stuff to my collection?
The best part, which is building a deck to figure out what you're going to do to play this game.
All right. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and build ourselves a deck. So Untitled Deck, you know what? I have Untitled Deck as my first one. So this is Untitled Deck 2.
Oh, man.
It's a good title.
It's a good title.
Yeah.
It won't be confusing at all in the future.
No. I will know exactly what's going on. Yeah? No? I will forget.
Yeah.
By the time this live stream is over, I'll wonder what the heck is going on. All right. So, for those that know me, which, if you've paid attention to any of our live streams, I apologize. You know me too well, probably. I will not build a deck that isn't a Spectre deck. At least not right now, and not for this live stream, for sure. So, I'm going to put Hera in my deck.
Makes sense.
So I've added Hera to my deck. I can't add another Hera. I can't add another leader because how many leaders do we get in the game?
Oh, you get one.
Just one? Okay, yeah,
And a base,
perfect.
yeah.
Hey, look at that. So now that I've got my leader selected, I can keep this up and available so that I can maybe look through and be like, you know, maybe she's not the best leader for this deck. Maybe I want to switch over to Leia and still keep the aspects of command and heroism, but I'm good. I know I'm sticking with Hera, so I'm just going to minimize that. And that makes it so convenient to look through the rest of the cards without having to scroll through everything every time. So with Hera, I mean, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I really think that I just need to go double command.
Yeah, I am a big believer in double of whatever aspect your leader is.
Yep.
I don't know why. I just, it's so much fun to play some of those cards, and command and attack pattern delta are just good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to go with and I'm going to look at the camera here. Energy Conversion Lab. It's conversion. For anybody who might have any questions about what that card is titled. There's a reason I did that for everybody in the background.
Yeah.
All right, so cool. I have access to command now
You do.
without spending any additional resources on any cards. So I am going to switch the aspect to command.
Yep.
Okay. So, well, we'll re-minimize those because I still don't need those. All right, so let's look through the cards. I'm in heroism, so I'm going to ignore all these villainy cards. And you know what? I just made my first mistake. We'll add some of these cards.
Yeah.
I get all my Spectres.
Yeah, I would
what
go
am I
find
even
the
doing
Spectres
here?
first, right?
Yeah, so we're not going to do this. We're going to change everything. And we're going to go back, and we're going to find our Spectres. So we've already found one. I added 3 Kanan.
Oh man, that wasn't good. That wasn't.
But I made a
obviously
mistake.
happening.
But I made a mistake.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You have a hyperspace.
I'm going to add 3 hyperspace Kanan. I don't own them, but they just look so good.
But you could help him with that starting in March at all events.
Can they? You can. Don't, but you can. All right, so I'm definitely going Kanan. Got the Spectre tag. I have to have Kanan in my deck. So we'll scroll through. Yep. Let's find some heroism here. Where are we? Where are we? What am I missing?
Rocking. You don't need any there.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I don't need any there. Okay, so let's find Sabine. She'll be next on my list. So, OP Sabine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 3 OP Sabine here. And 3 Zeb. He doesn't have any revealed variants yet.
No.
So that's not an option. So it's cool to see that I have 2 variants, 1 non-variant. And then there is another, there is, Karabas. Yeah, Karabas.
Yeah.
That's right. So let's actually talk about Karabas
Yeah,
because unless you were on the website in the last 10 minutes and ignoring what we were saying to scroll through yourself, you haven't seen this card.
Yeah.
So Xander, tell us what Karabas does.
Yeah, let's pull it up so I can read it off for us.
Oh, yeah. I'll blow it up here, and they're all looking at it there.
Yeah, maybe. There we go. So Karabas says, a friendly unit deals damage to an enemy unit equal to the amount of damage on the friendly unit +1. So you can take that damaged unit that you think is going to be leaving play anyway this phase and just deal damage equal to the damage that's on it. So if they have grit, maybe you get twice as much out of all that damage sitting on them as before. So that's a really cool card. And it has the Spectre trait as well.
It does.
So it goes right in this double command deck.
And look at that. That could be 5 damage from Zeb. If he's taken a couple hits,
4. Or
4, and then that plus one.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you
Zeb
play your
can
cards
throw
right.
that 5 damage from Karabas. Then Zeb can attack.
Yeah.
That just sounds real fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a good time.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So we're going to throw 3 Karabas in there as well.
Might as well.
All right. And then let's head on down to Cunning. And we're going to grab, obviously, the Metal Menace that Chopper is. And we're going to grab ourselves Ezra Bridger.
Makes sense.
We also have Spark of Rebellion. All right, so I think I'm good on all my available Spectre cards.
I think so. I think you're good. Yeah.
All right, so now we'll build out the rest of our deck. So let's go back up to the top. We are going to then grab Command, and we're going to go through. So, I mean, there is no world where running a Command deck, I'm not running the Battlefield Marine.
Yeah, it's just good.
Solid card. Doesn't need an ability to just be good. And Mon Mothma, everything that I have so far is a rebel.
Yep.
All the units that I have are rebels, so Mon Mothma seems great.
Absolutely.
Akbar, he's a good dude. I don't know if I need him in this though.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Specifically, yeah, we'll talk about Akbar later.
Wow.
But
Ignoring another one up there though, with Sentinel.
oh, the Echo-based Defender. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
don't
do
have
need
any
my
Sentinels
Sentinel. I run Vigilance so much, like
you're used to
Hera
having a million
Vigilance. So
Sentinels.
yeah, I passed that by because that's not one of my Sentinels,
Yeah.
if you will. All right, so we've got the Echo-based Defender. We're obviously doing the attack pattern Delta. We're doing 3 Command. They're just too good. The Vanguard Infantry's good. Could potentially give experience, but that's a maybe at this point.
Well, you lost me. How many cards are we at first?
So yeah, currently we're at 36 out of our 50.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So we're doing Callus. I know
Yeah.
he doesn't really fit into the archetype, but
Traits-wise.
it's rebels. Traits-wise, yes.
Ability though.
Yes.
Trigger
Ability
off of
is
unique
spectacular.
units. You have a million unique units.
Yep. So let's do that. We're gonna throw. I mean, I love upgrades, so we're gonna throw some academy training in
upgrade
there.
guy.
Yep. We don't have any vehicles yet. Oh, do I want to put Traitorous in there? Yeah, let's put 2 Traitorous in. All right. So I do want this heavy blaster. Do I want this heavy blaster?
I don't think you have the vehicles, right?
I don't, but I could add some.
Where do you do traitorous?
I mean, I put a couple Traitorous
did
in
you?
there.
Okay, great,
Yep,
great.
yep. I put 2 Traitorous in there. Let's add a vehicle. Well, it might not be enough to add a vehicle. Let's add a couple. We're theory crafting here, right?
Ooh, that's the one you're going with?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm definitely going to put Bright Hope in there.
Yeah, you need the Sentinel in space. You don't have anything else in
Right,
space. Somebody's gotta
exactly.
take up.
So far, I don't have anything in space. So I threw that in as a possibility. I mean, Home 1 it's so good. I'm going to add 2. I don't need 3.
You don't
I'm
have
at 52, though.
Yep.
And I don't have the heavy blaster yet.
Yep.
So let's go over here. Let's get rid of the V-Wings.
And you didn't add any resupply, correct?
I didn't add any resupply yet, but do I need resupply
No,
for
you
this?
don't. If you're playing green, you do not always
I don't need
resupply in a
the
command
ramp.
deck. Yes.
Yeah, it's not a necessity.
That's
So-
me shouting people out right there. Is you
Right.
don't always need to. That's a lesson I learned very early. Don't always ramp just because you can.
Right. Okay, so I did get rid of the V-Wing. I don't think it makes sense to do the heavy blaster at this point because I do only have the 2 vehicles. So I mean, we're 1 card shy. What else do we want to add in here?
Maybe recruit? What is recruit?
Recruit could be good. Yeah, just for a unit. I do have a ton of units in here.
Yeah.
All very good units.
Yep.
It's cheap. All right, so let's add it to the deck. Now we're 2 over again. Maybe Home 1 just goes, and we just have Bright Hope protecting me in space.
That is a lot.
If and when I draw
Oh,
it.
that is a lot to put on Bright Hope.
It is, but Bright Hope can do it. I'm doing it. Just for fun. Just for fun. That puts us at 50 cards.
If you're playing Josh, run a space race against him. It doesn't matter. You're gonna bust through. You'll
no.
be fine.
This is the deck I'm building for the stream.
Okay.
This isn't my deck. Come on. Things will be very different, and you know things will be very different once
That's true.
I can run all of the cards.
Yeah.
And then sideboard, you know what? Let's say I do run into a space-heavy deck.
Makes sense.
That's where I can add a few Home 1s. You know what? We'll put a couple V-Wings in there. I don't love it, but I'm going to do it. And just in case, we'll throw a few resupply in there. So that's 8 in my sideboard.
How many traders do you have in your deck?
Oh, no. I can't add a card I already have 3 of.
Oh,
What?
look at that.
I do only have 2 Traitorous, so let's put a 3rd in there. And then, just for fun, what else did I only have 2 of? I don't know. You know what? We're going to do it. We're putting 1 in.
All right. Well,
All right.
you did it.
So I've got my deck. I've got my sideboard. I'm going to save that deck. Okay, my deck has now been created. So when I do go back into my collection, you will see that I have a second deck here. And I know exactly what it is because it's Untitled Deck 2. We all know what it is.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what? When somebody in the stream decides to build this deck and play this deck and be like, you know what? I find that there isn't really a lot of need for space for some reason, and this deck wins every game I play, I can be like, cool, I built the best deck ever, and I'm going to share that with everybody.
Oh,
So I can copy that code, and then let's go to a new deck. We're going to nix everything here. But if I want to import a deck, I can go and copy that code in, hit that import button, and that literally pulls in every card that I just had. So when a player comes up with their favorite deck, whether it's thematically good, whether it's just the best deck that they've ever played, the thing that, you know, crushes every single Sabine deck they play against, they can share that with whatever social channel they want, on Discord, whatever it be, and then anybody can go in, load up that deck. And for those players that are like, well, I don't have all those things, they can then go over to my collection, they can remove the things they don't currently own and fill it in with other stuff. Wow. So
that's really cool.
It's pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. I do love that aspect of it.
I'm gonna be stealing so many people's decks. Not yours. I just saw your deck building. But
again, the stream deck.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it is. But I will absolutely be using that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So that is all we're going to talk about today for the card database and the deck builder. We kind of beat it over the head a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
But we do have a couple other things we want to talk about. The first of which is going to be all the way down at the bottom of any page that you're on. We're going to talk briefly about the 4 retailers section. For many of you watching, this isn't going to be a section for you. But if any of our retailers are out there wondering how to get into this game, this is a great way to get into the game. Or for those of you who know that your store isn't involved or knows anything about Star Wars Unlimited, if they come to the website at your request, they can get all the information that they need here. Talks a little bit about the game and how the stores get into the game itself, whether it's finding product or hosting events and figuring out what those events are. So it's a pretty cool spot for stores who are just getting into the game to go and check out, to get the information that they need. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is our support page, also found at the bottom of any screen that you're on. When you go to that support page, there's a little bit of an FAQ, just some standard things that people are asking, have asked, and some answers to those questions with links to relevant pages on the website. But also, getting back to what we talked about at the beginning of the stream, we want your feedback.
Yes.
Right? We said that this is a beta where we wanted to get as much in front of you as early as we could because we've been excited about it and we were hoping you would be as well. But if you find anything that, you know, isn't working properly for you or something that you really would like to see in the future, we want you to contact us. And we do have our email address, unlimited@fantasyflightgames.com, for you to send in that feedback or those requests. And that's the gist.
That's the gist.
That's what we got.
I did see one question come through.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate that you will be able to see all variants in the card database and add all variants to your collection as well. Someone just asked about hyperspace and everything. They're not on there yet, but we haven't revealed all of them yet, so we don't want to, you know, spoil you with how cool some of them look because they are really cool. But you can do the same thing with foils, different things like that as well. So or foil hyperspace if you get really lucky on some of those. Yeah, like Josh did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that wraps us up here. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to mention about the website or OP before you leave here today.
Yeah. There are a couple things. So one question that I should have covered when we were in the deck builder, but there was a question asked earlier on in the stream about card sleeves because people are excited about the game and getting card sleeves for it already.
Yeah.
So we are going to require at competitive events opaque sleeves or Star Wars Unlimited sleeves. So for any of you who've seen our GameGenic products around, we've got their sleeves already. Those will be available. Those will be available day one, so March 8th alongside the game. So those will all be legal for events. And then, like I said, opaque sleeves, they all have to match, of course. We don't want you to have different sizes and all that stuff. So that was that for OP. Let's see, there are a couple other questions that we had here.
Multi-filters are coming for the
Yep,
card database.
Yep,
That's one
multi-filters
thing.
are coming. Currently, there is not a printable version of the deck list, but I will leave that at currently. There is not. And then judge program was another question.
Yes.
There's no information out there yet, so I know you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. We will get you that information soon, and I'm sure we will be doing a lot more than just mentioning it on a live stream. There will be a little bit of content around that because it is something I am very excited for.
Yep. And so we've got two more things that we want to bring up before we call it here. One of them is that you could put the quantity of each card for your decks or in your collection and things
Yep.
like that. Because I know that's important to me as I plan on having a lot of cards in the cunning aspect, as we all know. So being able to keep track of how many of those legendaries I have is going to be important. So being able to see, your full collection in numbers is coming and in the works. And then there's one other one that I know that
There is one
we want
other
to talk
one
about a little bit
that
here.
just came up, and I'm glad that it came up. So we have been as forthcoming with this game as possible, and we want to make sure that we take your feedback into account.
Yes.
There was a ruling that we were going to go with when it came to competitive decks and how those were going to be built. We are pivoting on that because we have heard your feedback, and all cards from all languages will be legal in any given deck. So just so you're all aware, that is something that will be the case for our competitive events.
So when I go to Germany and I make a trade for a cool German Kanan Jarrus, I can come back and trade it for one of your cool cards.
Yes.
And we can make those trades
Yes.
as much as we want. And then use it
And
in
then
our
I can
decks.
have a German Kanan
Yeah.
in my deck
For you to remember
and
that time I won.
attend a competitive event. Why are you doing this to me? I can't go to
Yeah, that's
competitive
true, you can't
events
go to competitive
because
events.
of my own rules.
Because he was going to win too much is what it was.
No, it's actually saving myself from the shame of defeat.
Yeah, same here. I feel that. So I think that wraps it up for the day. So thank you.
Almost. There was one question
more? What's
just
the
added.
last one?
So the database and deck builder, they asked if it was going to be available as an app.
Makes sense, yeah.
That is not the case because the website functions fully on mobile, just like it does on web-based. We didn't pull in all the cables that we need to actually show it on my phone. This was a lot simpler for today. But yes, it is not going to be a separate app. It is going to be web-based even on your device.
Yes. So that wraps it up for this website
That
conversation.
does it.
It does. So thank you all for joining us. Again, this website is in beta, so I'm going to reiterate. Please do offer your support and feedback. We love hearing what you all would like to see, any bugs that you see, anything like that. The more we know, the more we can help fix it and make sure it's a great experience for you all as users and players going forward. So thank you all for everybody who has emailed us already with things. We've gotten really great feedback so far. And I've really enjoyed seeing everybody building decks and things. So always, drop links in the chat occasionally if you got cool ideas as you're building deck lists. We all love hearing about it and talking about it. So looking forward to seeing you all for our next live stream in 2 weeks. Josh will be back to talk about, again, pre-release and store showdowns.
Yeah, let's
So
go.
we're doing a little OP chat. But thank you all again for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.